G'day, Richard from iMotorhome. I'm here with Project Polly, and in case you're not familiar with her, Project Polly is a 2010 model Ford Transit. She spent 5 years as an Apollo rental, that's where the Polly name comes from, and we bought her 5 years ago. This is her 10th birthday year. One of the first things we did when we bought her was to replace the vehicle batteries. Now, unlike most vehicles, Ford Transits have 2 vehicle batteries, and inconveniently they both live under the driver's seat. It has 2 batteries on the diesel because one purely takes care of starting the engine and the other runs systems like central locking, the engine management computer and so on. Now, we replaced both of those in December 2015, but the secondary battery has gone flat, so we need to replace that. And to do that, we have to get access under the driver's seat. Now, you can, in theory, run the seat right forward, and it's easy to access one battery. Of course, the one you can access is the starter battery. It's at the back, but it's fine. To get to the front one, you've got to take the starter out and muck around underneath. So I've been told the way to do it is actually just remove the driver's seat. Easier said than done, perhaps. Put that to the side because the seatbelt's still attached, and then you have vertical access to it. That's what we're going to try and do today. You know I'm not a fan of DIY, but heck, I'll give anything a go. Alrighty, time to move inside. So, what we have to do is remove the driver's seat by undoing 5 torque screws that hold the seat rails onto the seat base unit. Once we've done that, we can actually put the seat over the side. You can't actually remove it as such because that means you would also have to undo the seatbelt anchor. So we're just going to move it out of the way, and then in theory, so I'm told, that will give us access to both batteries for easy removal and replacement. See how it goes. Before we get too carried away, first thing we need to do is remove this tray top from under the seat. Just a plastic lift out unit, and that actually gives you then access to the batteries. We'll put that in the back, I think. The seat rails are held in place by 5 screws, and with a T30 Torx piece and a little ratchet unit, we can start the process of taking them out. Okay, all the screws are out. Took about 5 minutes. Now the moment of truth. Let's see if I can just move the seat over. Vehicle in gear, handbrake off, and not running down the hill, which is always a good thing. Whole seat unit has come adrift. I might need to lift it up and sort of put it over there a little at first. Well, that went better than expected-ish. It'll be interesting now to see how easy it is to get back on board. But at least I have access to the batteries. Okay, so here we are. You can see both the batteries. You can see the date there, 2/12/15, when they were both replaced. That rear battery is the cranking battery, and the front battery is the one that's died, and it's the systems battery. So, next task, to remove everything and get the battery out. Okay, first thing to do in removing this, we have to remove this bracket that holds the battery in, and it has a bolt at that end and at that end. So it's time to get unscrewing on these and get the bracket out of here. Of course, they don't use the same size screw on each end. So at the back it was a 10mm. On the side, it's an 8mm, and that's required a bit of hunt around in the old toolkit. Okay, now with those removed, it should be a simple task to remove this, taking extreme care not to short the whole thing out and set the vehicle on fire. So the next stage simply appears to be undo the negative and positive terminals, remove the battery, replace it with one I prepared earlier, and we should be in business. In future, if I need to replace the back one, and I know they say you should do them together, but this one's still showing green through the water indicator, so it's fine for the moment. But in future, if I need to replace this, I should be able to take it out from the back of the seat. Anyway. Okay, they're undone now, and they were 10mm nuts, so just the socket for that. Put them safely aside. Now it's time to remove the terminals. There we go. Slide the battery back. Oh. Remove the breather tube out the side. Pick that up. Okay, so the old battery's out. Here's the new one. Make sure that's clear. That's clear. All the terminals are on the correct side. Red for positive, blue for not so positive. Is that just unsure or uncertain? Negative. Okay, so off with the caps. Oh, but first in with the battery breather. Now on with the negative, on with the positive, and I can hear life in the vehicle. And that's always a good sign. So they all appear to be fine now. So all I need to do is put the nuts back on there, put the bracket on, put the seat back, and we should be in business. Okay, the guard went back into place quite easily. So I've got the 10mm nut on the back fitting, and then the 8mm on the other side. Okie dokie. That's that done, apart from putting the seat back on. Alrighty, let's give that a go. Not the easiest thing in the world to manoeuvre, so you need to do it gently rather than rushing at it like a madman. And the trick is to get it over the handbrake. Well, we're sort of there. I see that one. There's a spigot on one side back there, and that locates it. All right, that's really good to know. That's why there are 5 screws and not 6, because the spigot helps you locate it so you can put everything else back in. All right, let's do up the grub screws now. Okay. So one trick for the uninitiated is when you put the seat back on, the seat rails can actually be at different lengths, but that's actually easy to fix simply by pulling up the seat adjustment mechanism and sliding them along to fit. Right. So now it's time to bolt the seat back down. So there are 5 of these bolts, 2 in this back corner, 1 in the back corner on the other side. The second one's replaced by the locating spigot for when you're positioning the thing, and then 1 on the front on each side. Alrighty, the back ones are done up. Now I'm just finishing off snugging up the front. After that, I just need to put in the plastic cover that slides neatly in beneath the seat and the batteries to keep the dust off them, and I think it's job done. Alrighty, let's try this. So there we have it, job done. Total time, maybe an hour and a bit. Degree of difficulty, not high. Most difficult bit, wrestling the seat back into position when the job's done, having to lift it up from an awkward angle, get it over the handbrake. It actually really is quite a straightforward job. All I needed was a little ratchet with a T30 Torx end on it, an 8 and a 10mm socket for the battery terminals and the battery bracket, and some patience and of course new battery. So let's see how we go. I heard signs of life earlier. Let's see if it makes any difference. Don't worry, that beeps normal. How good's that? Final test, will the central locking work? Okay, here we go. Okay, there's a door ajar. Will it unlock? Front doors, rear doors. How good's that? I'm Richard from iMotorhome. Thanks for joining the journey. It's been an adventure and perhaps the first of a few to come. If you have any questions about this particular job, email me, richard@imotorhome.com.au. Otherwise, stay tuned and watch our channel for future adventures. Thanks for joining us. Bye now.